Hi everybody! Welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am so excited to be with you today. I can't believe that June is already here. Where has the month and the year gone? I can't believe it. I'm so happy that you are joining me here today for another week of Makers Monday. Today I'm going to focus on the Mountain Air bundle that's in the January through June mini catalog and currently transitioning over to the new 2020-2021 annual catalog. Thank you for watching. As always, I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin Blondie, and I'm coming to you live from a dark and stormy Tucson this afternoon. It is pouring outside, and fingers crossed that my power does not go out and I can continue on with this live. Please know that if it just abruptly stops, my power may have gone out and I have lost connection, but hopefully we can continue on like normal today. It is kind of getting into monsoon season, so hopefully all of our monsoon are quick and easy and they don't cause too much damage. So as always, if you're following along live, make sure to comment, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching this on replay, make sure to comment replay so I know that you followed along with us as well. Today, I have got quite a few announcements to go over before I jump into our projects. So let's go ahead and switch our view and get started here. So first up is tomorrow is the last day to order from the 2019-2020 annual catalog. June 2nd is already here tomorrow, and with it, all the items that are on the retiring list, including our 2018-2020 in color products, will all be retiring tomorrow. So if these are on your wish list, make sure to check out and get those products before they retire tomorrow at 11 o'clock Mountain Time PM. So all these items are while supplies last, so if you have something on your wish list, make sure to grab it now because it may not be there later. So as we say goodbye to the 2019-2020 catalog, we say hello to the 2020-2021 annual catalog, and with it, the 2020-2022 in colors. Now these colors will stick around for the next 2 years. So just like our current 5 that are retiring, these will stay around for 2 more years. And if you received a catalog from me, you got this really cool color chart, and it's so fun to be able to create these for everybody. I love that you can see all the colors together, and I use this for color matching for projects. So not only is it a way for you to see all the current colors, but also to color match for your projects. So those were provided for those that already requested a catalog, but you can still request a catalog by the link in this post above. So we are gonna say hello to this catalog coming this Wednesday, and I'm super excited to make projects with that. Along with this catalog, I am introducing my Poppy Petals rewards. So what exactly are Poppy Petals? So for every online order or in-person order that you place through me, including class signups as well, you can earn a Poppy Petal. So for every $40, you'll track your order, and once you receive all the petals in your bouquet, you get to earn $30 in free product. Now this can be product of any of your choosing, from stamp sets to punches, dies, embellishments, anything at $30 or below. Unfortunately, Hostess items are not available for Poppy Petals, but I'm super excited to show this to you and have this start this coming Wednesday when the new annual catalog starts. Now, once you fill out your Poppy Petals form, you'll put what items you want, you'll mail this to me, and I will send it straight to you, so no need to do anything in return. Just make sure to note your order number. Now, if you place product orders through me, I will give you that order number so you can keep track of yours. But this is something fun and exciting that is coming this June 3rd. So Wednesday, we'll start our Poppy Petals. Okay. Next up, so also starting June 3rd, a lot coming on June 3rd, is a pick a free bundle starter kit promotion. So what exactly is the starter kit? So to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you get the starter kit. It is $125 worth of product of your choice for $99, and then in June, from June 3rd to June 30th, you get to pick a bundle of your choice to add on. Now, what's a bundle? A stamp set or a punch, or a stamp set or a die set. These are all included in the promotion no matter what price they are listed. So the bundle that I'm focusing on today, Mountain Air, is a $50.25 bundle that you can get free in addition to your $125 worth of product. Now, why join the Stampin' Blondie team? So we are a nationwide team of demonstrators from all over the country. I have personally welcomed everybody to our team. You receive a 20 to 25% discount on all of your orders, no matter what the order quantity is. And you get free VIP access to purchase items ahead of time before the catalog starts. Fun fact, starting in July, we can pre-order from the new August through December holiday catalog, so that's fun. Of course, we have monthly team meetings, and I love to spoil my team. So if you have any questions about joining the Stampin' Blondie team, I'm more than happy to help and answer any questions that you may have. All right, and then the last bit of announcements I have is that the Share a Sunshine COVID-19 download for these digital sentiments, tomorrow is the last day to do that. So if you're interested in getting these digital downloads, tomorrow is the last day for that, and 100% of proceeds are donated to an organization of your choice that is helping fight COVID-19. So if you want more information about that as well, let me know and I can provide you the link. All right, so a lot of announcements like I said today, but let's get started. Today I'm going to focus on the Mountain Air bundle, and this is from the January through June mini catalog. But like I said, this is carrying over into the 2020-2021 annual catalog. So here is our stamp set. This is on page 53 of the January through June catalog. So we have a photopolymer stamp set, meaning that this is a completely see-through stamp set. Now the best part of this set is actually the stamps are reversible. So you have one side of the stamp that has a mountain etched into it, and the other side is flipped and flat, so you can do shadow stamping with these. So that's what these are. These are the backs of these bigger stamps here, so you can do flat shadow stamping with those. Now the bundle comes with the coordinating dies, and we're going to use those as well today. So let's start with our first project here, and I'm going to do the messy one first. So this one uses we're going to do a little Technique Tuesday as well with our Makers Monday today. So this project here uses the drip method with our aqua painter and our ink refill. So these ink refills are the same ones that go into your normal ink pads just to re-ink them up, make them fresh again. But you can do so many different techniques with just the re-inker themselves, and I'm going to show you one of those here. All right, so what you're going to do is I just have this normal palette that I got at my local hobby shop. This is mainly for painting and doing different watercolors. But I have a piece of watercolor paper that I have cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. Now, don't worry about writing any of these dimensions down, because I'm going to create a blog post with all the dimensions so you can follow along and create the projects later yourself as well. So we are going to take a couple drops of the Granny Apple Green re-inker. Now this is very pigmented ink, so a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to kind of roll my sleeves up a little bit here. And I'm going to take my aqua painter. Now these are retired, and we have new aqua painters that come starting on Wednesday. I have 2 of the 3, so we've got one that's got a big flat brush that's coming, and this one is just a little tiny brush, and then the third one is the normal size brush that we have here. So those are 2 fun things that are coming on June 3rd. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, and they are used the same exact way, so you can see even the new ones will work this way. I'm gonna take my aqua painter and do a couple drips of water into my palette and just kind of stir up that ink. Depending on how much water you put in is how much ink you're going to get, and we're gonna put that off to the side. Now when you're watercoloring, we have 2 different black inks that are available. We have Memento ink and StazOn. It's called StazOn because it literally stays on everything. Now, when do you use which black? I always tell my crafting ladies that you want to pair stinky versus non-stinky. Now, what do I mean by that? StazOn stinks. It has a very distinctive scent to it, and Tuxedo Memento Black does not. So I'm gonna be doing watercoloring today, which has no scent. So I want to pair my stinky ink with non-stinky technique. Now, if I was gonna use watercolor pencils, again, stinky with the pencils that are non-stinky. If I was to use our Stampin' Blends, those are alcohol-based markers. Those are stinky markers, so I wanna use non-stinky ink. So that's how I remember which ink to use for my projects, stinky versus non-stinky. Now StazOn, like I said, it stays on everything. So you want to use StazOn all-purpose cleaner when you clean off your stamps. You definitely want to use this as soon as possible, especially with your photopolymer stamps, because it can stain them if you don't get it off too quick. So I'm going to use this tree stamp here. It's actually 1 stamp, and I'm going to stamp it 3 separate times. Put that off to the side and get my block and put that on there. Oh, go this way. So we have our StazOn ink. Again, it has this little cover on it because it kind of, I say it keeps the stink in because it's very strong. So we are going to stamp up or ink up our stamp. Sometimes you can even go upside down just to make sure you're getting all the tree or whatever you're stamping inked up. And I'm just gonna stamp 1 tree here. Do the same thing. Oh, it's really raining out there. I mean, living in Tucson, we don't get too much rain except during monsoon season, so I love monsoon season. It's so, the smell of it, I love storms being from Iowa originally, so definitely fun when we can get some desert rain out here. All right, and our last one, and just stamp right there. So again, I'm gonna come in with my StazOn cleaner and I'm gonna put it on my stamp. And then I just use my Stampin' Scrub. One side is wet and one side is dry, so I put this on the wet side and then the dry side. So these will stain your stamps, but as long as you clean it off, you should be okay for moving on to additional colors. All right, so I'm gonna cover my StazOn back up and we're gonna work on the drip method here. This is a really fun technique. I did a rainbow drip for the Pima County Fair last year and I got a blue ribbon on my project. If you've ever been to my house, it's in my guest bathroom right next door to this room. So we're gonna take our aqua painter and our ink here, and I'm just gonna rub it on the bottom here just to create that base layer first. And then I'm gonna turn my paper and really saturate it and just drip it down so it will create that drip method. I hope you guys can see that while I'm also pushing on my aqua painter to make sure that my paper is super saturated to get that to drip down. And let's try to get that drip right there. There we go. And you can also use this excess on your paper to kind of pick up some color at the bottom there. And that is our drip. So what I'm gonna do is, you can let this air dry, but I like to come in with my heat gun and just put it on full blast and just super dry this. With the watercolor paper, this definitely soaks up that color and gets it dripping, and it's really pretty once you have it all dried here. So it'll just take a few minutes to dry. And if you saw my teaser post yesterday, I'm gonna show you how I had that and how you can do some really cool things with a baby wipe when we're done here. You also want to dry the back just to make sure that your project is fully dry on both sides. And that is our drip technique. And it doesn't take very long to dry once you've got it on there. Now your paper may curl a little. You can just flatten it out while it's still a little warm. And I'm gonna come in with a baby wipe. And this is where it can get your fingers kind of inky. So I just like to pick up on my silicone mat and in my palette here to clean that off. And that looks pretty cool. You got a really cool tie-dye effect. So you can even use those on projects if you want. But I'm just gonna put that off to the side. Oh, actually I need a baby wipe. So if you wanna clean off your aqua painter, these can be used for multiple projects. You just kinda wipe that off there, and that can be used for your next project. So we're gonna move that out of the way and finish up here. I have a piece of Granny Apple green cardstock, and let's make sure that's dry. And my bone folder, crisp up my line here. Get my palette out of the way because we won't need that. And I am going to use, now this is adhesive we used to sell, but the good news is it is coming back into the new catalog, but with a different name. So this was our old Fast Fuse. So we are coming out with adhesive called Seal Plus, and if you are familiar with Fast Fuse, it is about the same. Now as you can see, I'm doing little check marks at the end because I need to break the tape. With the new Seal Plus, you don't have to do that, so I'm excited about that. I'm almost out of my Fast Fuse, so I am happy to see Seal Plus coming. So I have a piece of Granny Apple green cardstock here. And I am using the new Forever Fern stamp set. This Hello, I featured this stamp set last week on my Technique Tuesday with embossing paste. And we are going to use, again, Granny Apple green. I like tone on tone stamping. So we are gonna do tone on tone here. And just stamp in the middle. And what I did is I just flagged the end here. So a quick tip for flagging, you want to cut up the middle, do a quick snip, and then I like to do corner to corner to make sure that my angles are the same on both sides. And then I'm gonna cut just a little bit off this end here. Move that out of the way. Now this is our Stampin' Snail. This is leaving as well. So we have Seal, and now we're gonna have, so this is gonna be Seal, and then we'll have Seal Plus for our Fast Fuse replacement. And that's all available starting June 3rd as well. Definitely on my first things to order so I can show you guys what that looks like. And there is our first project using the Mountain Air stamp set. Now this is a great set just to have on its own, but we are gonna pair it today with the bundle and the coordinating dies to create this project. Now, before I move on, I wanted to show you another project that I did with the drip technique, and this uses the mountains too. And the same thing, basically the same project. The only thing that I changed is this mountain stamp set in the back. And I did this one in Bermuda Bay, and I love the different looks. You could do so many different colors with this drip technique. Like I said, I did a rainbow. You could do so many different things, but it's really fun and quick and easy, and it looks really cool. Yeah, Candy, what a cool feature. Isn't that great? I love that. So we are gonna work on this project next. Now, due to the magic of television, and because this project does have a lot of die cutting, I have already pre-cut some of the project pieces just for time's sake. So we have a piece of, if I can get it off, a very vanilla cardstock. Again, this is an easel card just like our last project. And we are using, this is gray granite that I have stamped in gray granite ink. So this whole project is tone on tone. So crumb cake and crumb cake ink, and I'm gonna cut that one out for you. And then we are going to do basic gray on basic gray paper. And I have basic black trees that I've cut. And in the back, we're gonna use Sahara sand ink, and I'm going to do two-step stamping. So not only are we doing regular stamping, but we're gonna do two-step as well. So let me get everything set up here that we need. So we are going to use this mountain piece in our long block. And I'm going to give you some room so you can see. So what I do is I like to ink up these stamps upside down because they're big and they're kind of intricate. So I want to make sure that the full stamp is covered. And for two-step stamping, so I'm going to take my project and I'm gonna put my mountains here kind of towards the middle of the paper, and I'm going to stamp once. So you have this look. Now, because when we look at mountains, you see more in the distance. So we are going to create the shadow effect in the back. And we are going to stamp again without inking. And I'm going to offset the mountains so the peaks kind of go in between our previous ones. And I'm just going to stamp one more time right there. So you have a shadow background here in the back that you can't see. And you could do it one more if you want to. So it'd be like 3-level stamping in the back. But it's just kind of a different way to show perspective once you do the stamping piece. So we are going to clean that off because I'm going to use this block for our this little tree line here. And put that on there. And we're going to use basic gray ink for this background piece here. Now you can see this is actually just what we used to call an edgelet. It's not an entire framelit that we have. So this piece is just this outline here. It doesn't cut the entire piece out. So I am gonna flip my paper this way because I still want this cornered edge here. So we are going to use that piece, and I'm gonna ink up my tree line. So like I said, with these larger stamps, I like to flip it upside down just so I can see exactly what I have inked up. And again, you wanna use a silicone mat because you may stamp off and get it on your workspace. Or you could use a piece of grid paper, whatever, just make sure your workspace is covered. And see, it didn't get the edges there because my paper is short. I'm gonna clean that off and we're gonna cut. And I wanna cover my ink up so I don't get everywhere. And we are gonna cut these two pieces actually at the same time. So I'm gonna bring in my magnetic platform because I want my dies to stay in place. And I'm gonna line them up where let me make sure I do it this way so I can see. So I'm gonna line up my tree line to my die just to make sure that it's gonna cut out exactly where I want it. And then this mountain piece is the whole die, so this will cut the entire mountain range out. Now this magnetic platform is not all magnets. It has little round magnets on the inside, but I'm very excited because our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the whole plate is magnet, so you don't have to worry about those little pieces jumping and your dies moving when you we'll run them through the die machine. Okay, and we come back here and we have our mountain range, and this piece cut just the top out. So we have these extra pieces that are scraps. All right, now it's time to assemble. So we are gonna start from the bottom down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take dimensionals. So we're gonna use black dimensionals today. Now these carried over from the holiday catalog. And I love black dimensionals, especially when using neutrals, because if you look at your card from the side, it doesn't have that stark white like a regular dimensional does. And see, they're dark. I love these. Like I said, I use dimensionals on every project. I find these things out in my kitchen. I find them on my dog. They're kind of all over. So now we're gonna layer our gray granite piece here, and I'm gonna butt that up to my dimensionals. Now it's not gonna stick, but I just am gonna start that baseline here. And Candy asked, can you tape the dies down to help them from jumping? Yes, you can. You can use washi tape. But when that new die cut machine comes out, that whole plate is gonna be magnetic. And speaking of tape, we're gonna tape this die down here so it doesn't move. We're gonna adhere it this way instead of using tape on the other side, because if you don't put it in the right spot, it could show. So always great to have some Scotch tape in your craft room. So we're gonna do another layer of dimensionals on the back of this. This whole project is based on dimensionals. And we're gonna peel those off, and we're gonna layer our next piece here. Now this one I want to offset. I don't want my mountain range to be, oh, I got it stuck. You don't want it to, the peaks to line up together. You want them to kind of be off center from each other, just like a normal mountain range is. So you want to kind of move one over from where you want it. If I can get this to stay. So I'm gonna move that just a slight over. I need to move that dimensional down just a bit. There we go. And again, I'm going to come in here with Scotch tape, and I'm gonna tape that down as well. Come on, doesn't wanna work. Here we go. And now it's crooked. There we go. There. So just a little couple pieces of Scotch tape will keep it all together for when you want to finally have it where you want it. So there we go. See, our mountains are off center from each other. And a last layer of dimensionals on this. And I'm only gonna do two, let's do one here, because we're gonna cut some of this off. So I don't wanna go too close to the edge there. So we peel this off. This one is definitely not a quick card. This is a extra special project that you want to create. Now again, we want to kind of off center our mountains so that we have them all together there and covered. And as you can see, you've got these extra around the outside. So I just like to come in with my scissors and trim along the edge so that it is flush with my card base. So come around here, and we're gonna trim this edge here. There you go. And then your whole mountain range is flush with the outside of your project. Now we have in the bundle as well, there is this little teeny tiny stamp here, and we have some birds. And because this is just a regular project, I'm not doing any technique with it. I'm just going to use regular tuxedo black Memento ink and make sure my birds are going the right way. You don't want birds flying down. There we go. And then the last bit, I am using the sentiment from the Tasteful Touches stamp set. This is also in the new catalog that starts this Wednesday, and there's some beautiful coordinating designer series paper to go along with this. But I am using the stamp that says, "The good things in life are better with you." And this is perfect because you can use this sentiment with a birthday card, an anniversary card. This is a great masculine project here, and I am using Sahara Sand ink for that sentiment. So a quick ink of that, make sure it's going the right way, and stamp right there. Now for the final piece, you can leave this like it is, but I thought that this foreground here needed just a little bit of something. So I cut the outline trees just in basic black, and I staggered them with each other to put here and up there. And that is our second project using the Mountain Home Bundle. Now, as always, if you liked any of the supplies that you saw today, make sure to use this week's hostess code at stampinblondie.com. If you click the shop button, we will get you a free gift with any product order of over $25. Now, coming up this weekend, make sure to look out for my new June class. This is going to be featuring the Well Done bundle. This is a punch and coordinating stamp set from the new annual catalog as well. I can't show you a picture of what it looks like in the catalog, but keep an eye out on June 3rd for what the product will look like, and then this weekend what the projects will look like. So I hope you enjoyed my Makers Monday today featuring the Mountain Air bundle. I hope to see you next week for Technique Tuesday. So I'm going to stagger every other week, Makers Monday and Technique Tuesday, after last week was such a great success. I hope to see you then, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.